This is a very personal business for me. For example, I personally started the training program. I did that because the fundamental differentiator for any law firm is culture. How do you create culture? You have to get right down to the very beginning of an individual's career and then instill in them the values, the entrepreneurial zeal, the enthusiasm for the business that I have and that my fellow partners have.
The lawyer to trainee ratio here is a lot better, which means that you get a bespoke training contract. You get hands-on mentoring and leadership, but also you get responsibility early on, which is the best way for any lawyer to develop.
We're really looking for people who clearly are bright enough to do what are very complex transactions at times with difficult issues. But with that, it's very important that they have a lot of energy and enthusiasm about what they do. It's important that clients want to spend time with them.
There's not a one-size-fits-all in terms of a Shearman trainee. We have a wide variety of people from different backgrounds.
I've interviewed scientists, historians, economists, musicians. I actually sat with a guy who was a King's choral scholar.
The feedback that we get from trainees has been consistently positive about the kind of work that they get and the opportunities that come their way.
The training contract has developed significantly, certainly in the time I've been here. When I first joined, we took on 6 or 7 trainees. The recruitment process was quite brief without really very much partner involvement. We now run assessment centres with at least 6 partners involved in the recruitment of every trainee we take on.
It's a very full programme of legal training and skills training as well, which is particularly important. It's not just about knowing the law, it's about having those skills to provide the excellent client service that clients need and a firm like us has to deliver.
You know, lots of lawyers talk about their last deal. I think if someone asked me to talk about proudest achievements, I think you just need to point to the talent we brought through.
We put a lot of effort into the entire process from the recruitment stage to their development once they're here. So it's not like we lure them in and then once they're here we forget about them. We spend a lot of time making sure that they get proper training because they are the ones that are going to be the associates and the partners of tomorrow.
You get that more personal attention and sort of focus on the career development, which you will not get in a much larger intake. Certainly when I look back, I wish I'd had this option when I was looking at my training options.
But I think one of the things we pride ourselves on is the fact that we are terribly good at mentoring our trainees. We see them as the future of the firm. We invest an awful lot of time in them.
We place a lot of significance on our overseas seats. We think it's very important that our trainees get a feel for business outside of London. And certainly I think it's an experience that enhances anybody's training contract and we would encourage trainees to grasp it.
We are a global firm. We're in 20 offices around the world. We do the biggest cross-border deals. And we have a truly international flavour and culture. And nowhere is that more true than London.
I mean, who knows, I might choose to stay in London or I might choose to go abroad, and I just like to have that option.
One day I'll be doing a property development in Latvia, the next day I'll be doing looking at a lease in Singapore. And you learn and you develop as a lawyer by seeing what's going on in different jurisdictions.
They're working in Europe, they're working in the Middle East, they're in emerging markets, mature markets. They're working with Brits, Americans, Europeans, Arabs, Asians.
You really do get the responsibility and you're working with partners, senior associates from day one, whereas you wouldn't normally do that in other firms with larger intakes simply because there's just not the capacity for you to do that.
Trainees can, take on as much as they can reasonably handle, and there's no one, around here who's going to say, no, sorry, that's just beyond, what a trainee is capable of doing.
You work very closely with people who are quite senior, and then you end up being quite comfortable working with people who are either very senior associates, partners, or counsel, and you work so closely with them, you establish a closer personal relationship.
If you're the type of person that wants to take responsibility and relishes responsibility, it's up to you. And what we do is we encourage that, but we also put in place a very, very strong support network to make sure people don't feel exposed.
Scaringly, I was sent on my first sort of trip abroad about 7 days into my training contract. So it's a really good experience, and you really feel throughout the while working at Shearman that it really is somewhere where you have proper responsibility. You make a real contribution.
I've been very lucky. I think of myself as one of the first homegrown partners in the London office because I joined the firm when I was actually 1 year qualified, so I was very junior. And having made it all the way through the ranks and to now be a partner is actually it's a good thing.
Started off as a trainee, went through the training program with people, and those people our careers have progressed together, and that forms a close bond which helps you in both your work and your personal life.
I don't find myself, ever bored working on any of my matters because I know I need to be at the top of my game.
It's a great platform for those people who want to be able to show their colleagues, their clients, what they're able to achieve as a lawyer and as an individual.
It's not an easy track anywhere to go through the ranks, and I think it does help for people to see that you can actually have a genuinely long-term career here.
For me, spending time with associates and trainees is not a product of what they are so much as just they're our intellectual capital. They are the people that are going to make this firm successful in the next generation.